I found an architecture firm that I think is a really good example of a problem that I see a lot. And I don't necessarily think it's all like the website is bad, but what I think is happening is that they've outgrown their brand. They are, according to their website, a 15-person architecture firm with quite a bit of experience and some really high quality looking projects. But if you landed on their website without knowing anything about them, it would take some time to learn that story. So when we first land on the site, we've got a giant logo. I obviously know that they do design and architecture. But that's all I know right now. And then we scroll down, we're immediately thrown into featured projects. And these projects are interesting. Raptor Center, that's a cool project. Tiny bit of information about the project. Not a whole lot of information about what the firm did. Obviously, they did the architecture, but we're thrown right into projects. We've got residential, commercial, some education or specialty work, more industrial work. We've got some news on the bottom, kind of a weird layout for news, but that's okay. That happens. And then let's hit the about page. So the first thing they say about their firm is that our firm strives to offer great communication, quality, and customer satisfaction through hard work and an open-minded approach to problem solving. It then goes on to say more or less that same thing again and again. And this is the kind of copy that sounds professional, but doesn't really tell me or potential client or partner anything distinct about the firm. And I would go ahead and say that most architects are going to say the same thing, that they offer great communication, great quality, customer satisfaction. So if those things are the best that you can tell me about your firm, then I think you're missing an opportunity. Here's what I think is happening, and this is without me knowing about this business really at all, but my best guess is that the website feels like it was built for a much smaller firm. The branding, the messaging, the portfolio, it feels like it's for a company that was attempting to establish itself, but people grow. Companies grow. And now they've got 15 people. They have experience with some interesting project types. They've done a lot of work. From being in a firm myself, they've probably developed a process for their work that is somewhat unique to them. But on this website, I can't really see any of that. That's where I would start with a client in a similar situation. Not necessarily with the website, but by sitting down with the leadership team and figuring out what the firm is now. Who do they want to work with? What types of projects do they want more of? What are they good at? What makes them different? Another important thing is, what do their clients say about them? And then because they've got a growing team, what does the team care about? And then we would take all of that discovery, that diagnosis, and we would build a brand around it. The positioning, the messaging, the visual identity, and then last but not least, the website. Because right now, I think the website is an attempt to have a website. And what I would want to do is make the website feel very specific to their firm. This is an opportunity that a lot of small firms have as they grow. At some point, the brand that you start with stops representing the firm that you've become. And I think it's a good problem to have, but you still have to do something about it.